Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Jeffrian Putradeska. You can be called me Jeffrian. My name is 22016031. I'm from session 202321280499 and I'm from the Indonesian Language and Literature Education Study Program. As I study English every week, of course, my goal in learning English is so that later I can master English properly and correctly and be able to get good TOEFL result later. In this section, I actually learned various things related to English by using one of the media in the form of video from YouTube, of course. There are many things that I have understood and learned from several explanations from this video. At the first meeting, I learned about its expletive. What is meant by it? Expletive are introductory words that start a clause or sentence. Then, these expletives are also often referred to as emphatic words. This is because it does not have a grammatical role like there, or only function as a grammatical subject like it. Then, at the second meeting, I learned about pattern that often appear in TOEFL question. The first pattern is it plus to be plus adjective plus to infinitive. To be, which is often used is. The second pattern is it plus to be plus adverbial plus noun clauses. With these two patterns that often appear in the TOEFL test, I tried and practiced to understand several questions that fit this pattern. Then at the third meeting, I tried to review and understand the pattern that often appear in the TOEFL test. Another pattern that often appears in the TOEFL test is it plus to be plus noun plus relative clauses. The next pattern is it plus tag plus time plus to infinitive. Then from this pattern is my understanding by looking for several examples of question in sentence with the same patterns, so that in the end I was able to understand more deeply the pattern that often appear in the TOEFL. At the fourth meeting, and the discussion included independent clauses. Independent clauses are also called main clauses or main sentence. Then the dependent clauses has the ability to stand alone and does not need another clauses. A sentence may consist of just one clauses, or there may also be a sentence which has two or more clauses. Then after I understood the concept related to this thing and aspect, in the end at the next meeting I understood more deeply that one clause, as it shall be. The characteristic of this one clause are that it only consists of one subject-verb structure. Then there is a term known as multiple clauses. Multiple clauses have the characteristic of having one subject-verb structure. Then at the sixth meeting, after I understood from of difference between one clauses and multiple clauses, I understood and studied several examples which become a form of difference between these two things. Of course, by understanding and seeing some of the same example, my understanding become deeper regarding sentence that only consists of one clauses and sentence that consists of two or more clauses. At the next meeting, I studied and understood in more depth the grammar of the English language. Of course, this will also help me in solving every TOEFL test question later. The first part that I understood and learned was related to nouns. Nouns are words used to name people, objects, and animals. The nouns can be divided into two parts, namely countable and uncountable. So in the end, my understanding the concept related to these nouns. In the end, I tried to demonstrate the technology gained by looking for several of these nouns in a sentence in English. At the next meeting, I learned about pronouns. A pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. Then in this section, I study and understand the tables related to pronouns, which consist of personal pronouns. Next, I select possessive or word that shows worship. Possessive is divided into two parts, namely possessive adjective and possessive pronouns. In the following week, I will discuss adjective. This adjective function to provide additional meaning or explain another pronouns. I understand this adjective by understanding the verb concept related to adjective and understanding the verb example in which there are several adjectives. In this sentence, adjective function to explain noun and pronouns. The position can be before the noun and can be after the link verb. At the next meeting, I understood what was related to verb. In the video that I have studied, I can understand that verbs are words that indicate action. Action or words that are also often called action verb. For example, the word study. Of course, to understand more deeply, I looked for understand several examples of this verb in a sentence. Of course, in the sentence, we often win verb. At the next meeting, I was still studying part of speech, especially the perfect parts from the video that I have seen, and understand that an adverb is a word that provides external information or explain. A verb or verb, adjective, another adverb, a whole sentence. Of course, understanding the verb is related to this adverb. I understand various form of example, so that in the end, and a sentence we differentiate between this adverb. At the next meeting, in this case, I understood in more that's related to preposition. A preposition is a word placed before a noun, phrase, or pronoun that define its relationship with another word in the sentence. Of course, understanding this preposition is an important thing to study in more depth. This is because in question we often come across this preposition. Example of preposition include in, on, and so on. At this meeting, I understood this that will be related to several things related to the preposition. One of them is the preposition of place. The preposition of place is the object that answers the question word. An example from related to the preposition of place is in. There are many from related to the preposition of place, including at, on, and in. At is used from a specific place or location. One is used for surface, and this preposition is used for location that are in a wilder area. At the next meeting, I understood the difference in the use, move, and do. Make is translated with the word make, and make is often interpreted as producing something. Verb 1, make is make made, then the word make is often used with the pattern make plus object plus base verb. Verb 3, adjective noun. Then that's different it from do is that the word do is defined as doing or doing, and do is often interpreted performing an action. For verb 1 of there is do, then do can be used with to ask an ordinary verb and an auxiliary verb. So that is a from understanding that I got from learning related to several these related to English. Of course, I do this learning all the times. The aim is to be able to understand English in more depth and be able to get maximum result in the TOEFL test letter. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.